Hello, heroes and heroines and champions of good and also evil. You are welcome to. Welcome to Pathfinder Kingmaker, which we are playing hardball. I actually recorded a couple of episodes already and then decided, as I noticed that I got carried away a little bit also with my comments and my adult humor that you will encounter in this series, that I should make a better introduction to the game. And I thought that I would also add in some more explanation about what this game is about, in case you don't know it. But the primary target group of this series actually is or are those people who have played the game, or maybe are playing it. So I have to warn you, the following episodes will contain massive spoilers. I'm not spoiling anything, or at least not too much now, in this video, so no worries there. But you should be warned, because this game is actually a great experience if you are into story-rich, huge, epic games. Yeah, so it's a role-playing game. And this episode actually starts right before the last antagonist. So, and we did something, yeah, which is pretty hard to come by. You probably need to aim for it in the game, which turns around this whole story a bit. I'm trying not to be too cryptic, yeah, but it's also very romantic, the whole thing. And the person, or the entity that you think is your biggest enemy, then turns out probably not to be, but it depends on what you do in the game. Yeah, especially you need to probably be a very good person, or possibly a very manipulative, psychopathic, evil person. That's possibly or it's probably possible as well to achieve the result as well. So I played the good guy. Yeah, I like that usually better. But that led me to the point, and it is actually like the hidden ending. Yeah, a secret ending of the game, the secret grand finale. And as far as I read online, it is the intended and true ending of the game, basically. Although only few players apparently have really found it, because you have to do many decisions, or make many decisions that lead you to that path. Yeah, otherwise you can lock yourself out of that ending. So, in this series, we will follow that ending and find this true ending also for all the characters. Yeah, and for the story itself. So I hope that wasn't too cryptic. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the game, in case you haven't heard of it. But I have to repeat, if you are playing Pathfinder, I strongly recommend that you watch these videos after you finished the game. And then it's probably really useful to do it, just to compare yourself. I'd like that too. After I played the game, then after I finished the game, then I will just look around on the internet, I guess, and just check out what people have posted. Because, there are so many choices. It's also a very moral game. Just to know what other people did. So, and it's also basically it is also very replayable. Although I probably won't do it, and I usually don't play the same game several times, especially if it's a story-rich game, because then I just know the story already. I only did that with Baldur's Gate, because that one was so cool and epic that I just played it as a good guy first, and after that as an evil person. And I might do that here as well, which leads me to the first aspect. So it's an isometric role-playing game, a classic role-playing game, so-called, which usually has these 6 characters. Yeah, other role-playing games only have 4, but in this setting and context, it's usually 6, which you can choose out of many, many more.
I know what to do.
You can see for the main hero, so he's not that one, but he's my main hero. I chose for him to be chaotic good in the beginning, and whatever you do in the game, it makes you shift in your alignment. Yeah, so if you do something evil, chaotic evil, for example, then this counter here, it shifts over there, and that locks you out of certain things. Yeah, if you are a genuinely evil person, you might not be able to do something obviously that's lawful good, and so you understand the context and the concept. So, and the whole game is built upon a pen and paper role-playing game called Pathfinder. I didn't know that one before this computer game, actually. And it's also very rich and deep. You have got many choices. So like for your character development, for example, I, as my main hero here, I wanted to be something like a magic wielding rogue. Yeah, so like a thief, because I like that in games, when you are locked out of certain areas, I like it to being able to pick the locks of chests and treasure and stuff. Yeah, so I find that usually more rewarding, like to sneak around and then also being able to cast spells. So that's the general concept. So, and you can do that very nicely. I actually messed up my character a bit, so I'm already like here at level 20. It's the end of the game. And I can't cast the highest level of spells, unfortunately. Yeah, so, but this is, you can see there are many spells you can buff your party with, where you can summon creatures, or if it's necromancy, for example, you can animate dead. Yeah, you can buff your other party members, healers like clerics, like him, like Tristan. They have certain healing spells, yeah, sometimes very powerful ones, and they can even raise people from the dead. Yeah, and there are many different classes. So he, for example, he's an eldritch science, so I can show you here. So there are many possibilities, yeah, and you can combine the classes like whatever you like, basically. And I would go so far and say that whatever play style you might have, you will find something here. But of course, it's very deep and maybe overwhelming in the beginning, which is why I just used standard builds for the characters here, which you can find on the internet. I used the ones on NeoSeeker. Yeah, I found those very good and rather efficient. And I'm playing on challenging difficulty. Yeah. And where is it here? And you also have like many possibilities here, but I didn't want to min-max my character so much, because that I felt it's not necessary, and I like to concentrate more on the story and on tactics and stuff, and not just slashing through everything. And also goal. I don't like it if someone is like really, you can minimize certain values, like for him, well, he's got wisdom 8, that's still okay, but you could basically make this extremely dumb person who's super strong. Yeah, Amiri is slightly like this, but you could put this one to 7, I think, or 6 or so. It's the minimum, but then it's not very convincing from the role-playing aspect. And that's what I'm doing here. Also, like in the other episodes of the series, I am role-playing. So I'm playing this person
Ready for anything.
who is chaotic good. Yeah, so he's essentially a very good person. He helps people. He does things that are not selfish. And he probably not always sticks by the rules. Yeah, so although he's king, so yeah, and that's another layer of the game. So you have this tactical layer, the tactical level of the game where you fight monsters and you cast your spells and you achieve the heroic acts. And then you've got this management layer of the game. In the beginning, I'm sure I'm not spoiling it because it's right in the start. You are being engaged as heroes to liberate borderland that's ruled by a bandit, and you are supposed to become a baron for that. Yeah, you get the title of baron, but that's actually just the start of the whole game, basically. And then you've got management issues to build up your kingdom, and you've got many opportunities and choices, and it's really great. I like it very much. So, and just to show you a little bit around, so like this tactical level, so here, for example, there are like this one. Oh no, that was bad. That wasn't supposed to happen. But as you can see, it's pretty easy also to die. So this game has strong RNG elements, random number generated elements. So the poor Christian, which is my healer and the only one who can actually raise the dead, is now dead. And fortunately, I'm just showing around, so, but he's done now, and we can't revive him, I think. Yeah, I don't want to look around too much now, so he's gone now, which is a good situation just to load your last save, But there are scrolls, you can also use scrolls, so sorry for the very messy inventory. That's actually a disadvantage of the game. At some point, I mean, you've got very nice sorting aspects here, but it starts to become a very big bad mess, in my opinion. There's no really auto sort function in that way, although it's very differentiated, like this. So, but that's probably one of the disadvantages. So, and then it's super long. The game, I'm nearly at 600 hours of gameplay time. Of gaming time. You could argue that a few things could have been made shorter, and after the fourth act, I personally found that the game lost a bit of momentum, but still it was really worth it, and I'm really attached to these characters, which is why I did this series as well, because it's like a digital memorial. So that's what I see in it, and I want to share. I want to share with the community as well, of course, because I also like to watch Let's Plays while I, for example, do sports or something, or just relax, because, sometimes playing computer games is also, or can be exhausting, and if you are really exhausted, then it's better just to relax and watch something so your brain can also relax, and save some energy or something. So that being said, people have lots of stuff, so there are many items you can use, and that's also the thing, if it's fun for you to really upgrade your characters, then this is also the right thing for you. So, and you can see here the crown. No, it's actually like here. So, and this is our handsome elf, the main protagonist, who became king at some point in the game. So I'm not spoiling too much with that too, because the game is called Kingmaker, right? So, but I guess it's even probably it's even possible not to become king, because it's also a choice. I don't know. So, but let's just try out a little bit so you can see there are different spells. So for example, Rugonga has a defensive spell which is mirror image. It's level 1. It's a simple it's a level 2. It's a rather simple spell, but it's pretty effective because if enemies try to physically hit him, there's a chance that they hit one of these illusions around him. So it's a pretty decent and good and effective spell. So, and then there are many others. Yeah, you can do lots of stuff here. For example, this one's got also a huge range. Let's cast with him. There we go. Ah yeah. So they got some damage, and also now we've got these obstacles here, so if an enemy came from here, they would be slowed down, which gives us time to shoot at them, for example. Yeah, I've equipped with everybody. It's just my personal gameplay or my style of playing the game. I always have this option. Yeah, so I like to be prepared for all situations, or nearly all situations. So that's yeah, and that thing, and then we've got something like cloud kill, for example. It's like an acidic, foggy area, or stinking cloud. Yeah, it's not about farting, but you know, like a nauseating thing. But you could look at it, you know, he's like also like dragon-like, and if you you know, he wouldn't even cast a spell to stink up the area. Yeah. So, and other stuff, yeah, so like this, that has a very long range, by the way. So let's cast it here. Yeah, lightning bolt, very nice thing. Oh, this one,
nothing bars my way.
cone of cold. And then you can summon creatures. For example, like here, let's summon some axiomites over here. Those are outsider like creatures from another plane.
No mistakes.
Our main hero can also do that. So let's cast those ones.
I won't let you down.
And she could use the traditional fireball. You know, let's try it. Look at them. So, and if someone is in the vicinity of a fireball spell, they get a reflex save. So that's also one game mechanic. People have 3 different types of saving throws, basically. It's reflex, fortitude, and will. Yeah, so, and the different spells you can do, they basically attack one of these skills. Yeah, like this one, for example, it's a very deadly thing, Phantasmal Killer, but only if you believe in the illusion. So it's a Phantasmal Killer. So let's you can only use it. Ah, yeah, okay. So let's use it on Jubilos.
Quiet. I'm thinking.
Okay, no, it doesn't work. We need an enemy for that. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, and you can also make yourself invisible and other stuff. So there are many possibilities, and it's really a great fun. And if you prefer just to have
what you want,
like our barbarian person here, like just a grand sword, like this one, yeah, then you can do that as well, and then you just slash and hack through them. So, but although I made her also like magic using like a mixture between a barbarian, a ranger, a sacred huntsmaster, and a two-handed fighter. Yeah, so she could use because she's got a special relationship with the big sword she has from the beginning, this particular character. Yeah. So, and it's great fun. Yeah, that's this concept. And I'll show you around for just a second how the kingdom looks. So you have an idea, because you get to conquer certain territories, and there are and this is the kingdom management screen, yeah, so it's a really big map as well. And you can build on special spots wherever you want. Yeah, you can build your own cities. This one, for example. And those cities you can also build up. So let's look in here. This is our capital, and you've got stats. Yeah, and I built like a lot of stuff already. So this is end game. Yeah, but there are many more possibilities, and I basically messed it probably up a little bit. Yeah. There are probably more efficient ways, but on the other hand, I think there would have been much more potential with the game, because you can't really build everything in your spots. Yeah, it's limited space for the cities, and basically if you have this end game stuff, the castle, for example, which takes up 4 spaces, it's like a grid. Yeah, then you need to destroy stuff you've built before. Yeah, and it all affects the stats you've got, and you can uprank your kingdom stats. So, and you can see here, the only one that's not at the maximum number of 10 in my personal kingdom here is arcane, so like magic, because I decided to research curses. I can say that without spoiling too much. Yeah, so that is also like a management decision. That was a management decision. I have no idea what it means later, because I'm at this point when I'm recording the introduction, I'm not finished with the game, obviously, although I have recorded a few episodes into this hidden final part. Yeah, and depending, by the way, where you build your other villages, you know, your smaller towns, and you can also upgrade them in size as well. So you've got I think villages, towns and cities. You have different layouts. So some have a river. I would always recommend a river like this one here, for example. And yeah, everything is built, of course. Yeah. Maybe I'm selling it now, so we can see it. So let's save it. Teleportation circle. So, and you can see it's, you know, there are fields depending on where you build the village. Different fields, and these depend on the size as well. Yeah. So that's this. And then there are many, like with this card system, there are events, yeah, where you need to react with the stuff and your advisors. So you've got advisors, your characters you can appoint as advisors. So Regonga, this dragon guy from before, he's my general, for example. Yeah. And this allows him to do some projects and react to events. Yeah, and these events give you, if they are successful, positive values for your kingdom stats, and they can also uprank these things. Yeah, so and you can see here I'm behind with the arcane because my guy, the storyteller here, he's my advisor for the arcane. He was always doing projects, yeah, other projects most of the time at least, and also reacting to the events here. Yeah, so I probably mismanaged that a bit. I don't know what kind of effect that will have. We'll see about that. Yeah, and depending on what you do, you can see here there are so many things. And depending on your decisions, you gain boni or mali, yeah, and things like, for example, here your minister gets more espionage points whenever he solves a situation and other things. They are actually pretty good buffs, like, where is it, maybe so this one, something here, no. But for example, it gives you poison immunity in your own lands. Yeah, here, for example, there. I did something with the god, yeah, and as a reward, I got poison immunity in all my areas. And this is the grand map, yeah. So these are all the areas, the regions, yeah, and that's this layer of the game, and yeah, I think that is all there is to tell about the game. And I just wanted to show you some more of the spells, I think. Don't look too close here. So here, this one was it. On the lava, because I liked the lava background as well. Yeah, and there are, I have not seen so much of the game, maybe because I never went much into necromancy. There is a character you can build nicely with that. And I did summon some undead units and stuff like that, but I liked my other party layout more, to be honest, yeah. And it was kind of more effective. So, oh yeah, and here with him, for example, it's this one. Oh yeah, Gale Asata. So that is basically the ultimate divine outsider, like a being from another plane, for example. So that guy has a big sword and punches. So let's see, and then we can do a firestorm, for example. So that's smaller. Or let's do it like this. On himself. Yeah.
I won't let you down.
You cast storm bolts, like so. Yeah. Polar ray, I think it's just on.
This spell's not supposed to work.
Ah, yeah. So as you see, immune to cold. There are things like here, legendary proportions, for example, which also use, so you can see dinosaur bones, like spell components. For others, you need diamond dust or diamonds, for example. And if you are big, then you have an advantage with beating people up, basically.
All according to plan.
And it's pretty nice. Many options. Yeah.
So, any brilliant ideas?
The classic fireball I already showed. So.
What's the hold up?
And I think, basically that's probably it. Maybe like this one. Again, this is like also an area effect spell. You can see there obsidian comes up and causes fire damage and also slows people down, or even keeps them in their place, which is great against tough melee enemies. So you can just shoot them, especially if you have only weak melee characters for yourself. So and then there are defensive buffs, of course. So I think that's it. So let's enjoy the series. I hope you find it interesting and entertaining. And again, I wanted to state that there will be some adult humor, so I will make some comments here and there in line with the role-playing, with my character, who is chaotic, So, and I know, of course, that this is politically, not everything is always correct, but as I've written also in this channel, this is a space with no place for any hatred, Yeah, so let's look at things from the humorous way and in a way of entertainment and just fun. And let's not take ourselves too seriously here. So, and I'm also not taking myself too seriously.
Focus on
So,
the
and maybe
goal.
the last thing to say, maybe at some point I will also play this game again, maybe in a year or so, when I don't remember everything so well again, and then probably maybe as a lawful evil person. Yeah, because that might be like the complete opposite, might be interesting. But I have to do some thinking because I can't play a rogue with lawful, or at least not that I know of. Yeah, and let's see. Yeah, and I've got a few other projects I'm thinking about, like a long list actually, and a huge pile of shame. But I'm looking forward to this, and I'm really excited about the end of this game. So I hope you enjoyed the series. If you have any comments at any point, you are extremely welcome to post them, because I also like to discuss this stuff. And if you have, for example, questions about the build, in some other video I will show around what actually I've used here a bit. And of course you're very welcome to join up with the channel, especially if you decide not to watch it right now because you want to play the game for yourself first. Then you won't miss anything, and you will not have difficulties to find this channel again later. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it and have a good time, and see you in the next episode, hopefully. Bye bye.